it's important for people to get vaccinated?
Well, the first and most important is to keep us all safe. We're dealing with a global pandemic. I think it's fair to say everybody knows the seriousness of what this can do to human life and ailments. But more importantly after that is keeping our economy going. So this is a part of an ultimate goal. This is a part of an ultimate goal in the long term to slowly but safely open our economy. As you know, tourism is our second pillar of our major revenue earner. In order for us to continue to provide for the people of this country, we need that revenue. But putting safety first. So we think that this is some of the first steps to getting there. The medical advice has told us that when we get to around 80%, that we can start making the necessary steps to safely open the borders. So safety first, economy second, and making people get back to work and money flowing back into our economy.
Thank you. You had your first vaccine today. Can you tell us how that went? How do you feel? How was it?
I was so excited this morning for the turnout. I don't think I've even been paying attention to how my body feels, but I feel fine. And you know, besides the natural pick of a needle, that's all I've felt so far. So I'll be monitoring myself throughout the day, but based on the experiences of others, I don't think it's going to be much of a big deal, and I think it should be good.
Fantastic. Could you tell us a little bit about the vaccination challenge and what that's all about?
Well, the vaccination challenge is just an extra incentive to say, you know, some people were on the fence. They weren't sure when they were going to do it. A lot of people were going to wait till the last minute, is what I believe. So this is just a little bit of an encouragement to say, come and do it now. You know, let's make some fun out of it. It's a different marketing strategy to get people out because the importance of this. So we got loads of different types of prizes, from trips across the sea to local gift certificates and loads of businesses. And I want to thank the business community for stepping up and doing their part. I just got a report just now that we got over 500 prizes already, and I'm really excited about that. And I think by the time the end of this challenge is over, which is June 9th, where we're going to do a press, a GIS, basically raffle and pull live on TV so people can see it, that hopefully we can get to 1,000 prizes by then. I've even had one local business person who says for Burger King, who's agreed to give everybody at least one Whopper for taking the vaccine. So everybody gets something. So it's just an extra push to incentivize us to do the right thing, because this is the best way moving forward to get Cayman back on track.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the public, or have we covered most of it?
Well, most importantly is thank you to all the staff who do their part every day to keep us safe. HSA, airport staff, the police, Dr. Lee and his team, many of the civil servants who've been doing the background work to keep us safe every day. I think that they don't get enough credit. I wish that we could give them a thank you every single day, because they're the ones why we're so free to be able to move around without masks, and why we're the envy of the world. So they should be given so much credit. And on behalf of the Panton government, I want to tell them thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister Bryan.
Mr. Bryan, can I ask, is there any plans to put on transportation for people to be able to come? We've heard reports from people from like Panton and East End who are saying it's difficult to get a bus to the airport, basically. So is there any plans to maybe provide
Well,
transport?
as we learned today about what the limitations are, I think that we can create more initiatives to make sure to get to people. Like my colleague from East End, the parliamentary secretary, said today that he's going to try to bring the vaccines to the people of East End, because you know they have a large number of elderly there. So we'll find out new strategies. I'll talk to my colleagues on Monday in caucus to say, can we try a little something different? So this is the first step of creative ideas to get people vaccinated. We got a couple more weeks before the vaccine expires. So between now and then you may hear more announcements.
So we've had a big push today, obviously. Do you have any idea of the numbers of people that showed up?
No, I hope it's in the thousands.
It looks like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to get something out by Monday as to the numbers. But right now it's just about being happy and continuing to push and let people know to come out. We're in this together. Let's do it together.
Are we going to have similar days like this with music and food to get people along, or was this kind of the launch?
Well, this is kind of the launch. And if we feel that we have to do that again, the Ministry of Tourism is committed to doing that.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Minister Saunders. Thanks for speaking with us today. You had your first vaccine today?
Yes, I
correct?
did.
And what was your experience? How was it?
It was very painless, very in and out, well, no pun intended, and I enjoyed it. The nurse, she'd been doing it for more than 20 years, so she was an expert. I made sure she was someone who was doing this for a long time.
And why is this important? Why are you here today to show your support for this initiative?
I think it's important that for everyone to get vaccinated. One, it'd be better for us as a community and a country, but also you can think about many other countries where people are literally having vaccine desperation, and I think it would look bad for us internationally if we were to basically have these vaccines expire and people are literally dying to get it. I think that would definitely do like just serious damage to our reputation internationally.
Get yourself vaccinated.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the vaccination program and about moving our economy forward?
No, well, first of all, I think it's important for us to safely reopen our borders. We see the projected deficit that we're having right now for this year, around 157 million. And I think if there's any doubt as to the value of what tourism brings to our country, this is definitely it. We see the struggle in the government finances. We see many families struggling of not being able to provide for their own families. So we directly can see what the economy looks like without tourism, without it being a full economy. So, and a lot of people that we speak to within the tourism industry, they actually want to be back out there. They don't want to be receiving a stipend. They want to be working. They want to be seeing people, and they actually miss it. I mean, these are people who enjoy, seeing other people being happy and so forth. So, from that standpoint, I've met with many of them and realized, how empty they feel from being home for so long. They're anxious to get back out also.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Most very welcome to you.
Deputy Premier, could you tell us, why did you wait till now to get vaccinated?
Well, there were two reasons. Well, when it first came out, we wasn't sure because the supplies were coming in batches, and I wanted to make sure that the elder and everyone got it. And then the other part about it is going into the election campaign at that time, I really did not want to run the risk of being not able to lose in 1 or 2 days of campaigning because, it was a very short campaigning period and everything else. So it was always the intention to get it done. I mean, my wife and my daughter, who was already of age, already taken it. So, and the entire family. So I'm just waiting now on the sign off for the younger generation. So my 14-year-old who just turned 14 yesterday, by the happy belated birthday again, Daniel. He also wants to take it because, we definitely want to get traveling. We want to get back to life, some kind of normalcy.
And just a quick question on the announcement yesterday about Cayman not being on the UK green list. Any thoughts on that?
Well, no. I think, at the end of the day, every country has the right to choose the criteria which they want. And I think, if anything, that it should show the importance of why we definitely need to get our vaccination rate up, if anything. And one of the things I want to also add is that, I look at my son, he's currently going to school in the UK. He's actually trying to come home to actually be able to take the vaccine. So it just goes to show that people in other countries have other people reach out to me elsewhere. Like, can we come to Cayman, go to quarantine and actually take the vaccine because people want the vaccine.
Right.
So it's like I say, it would really be a serious setback for us if it was ever a situation we got out internationally where people are dying and we literally have something here that so many people around the world need, billions around the world need, and we just allow it to waste. And the other thing about it is that I think that people need to also consider is that if we allow this vaccine to expire, will this impact us in future in terms of getting more vaccine? And additionally, if we do get more vaccine, will it be free or will we have to pay for it? And if that is the situation, then is it a situation where that cost will be passed on to people? So for right now, we can guarantee that it will be free, but we don't know what it will look like in the future, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we made a big dent in it today. So.
We hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time, sir.
You're most welcome.
All right, folks, so it's been a full day of activities here at Owen Roberts International Airport. The vaccine initiative has begun to have the vaccine challenge prize draw entry boxes here. We've seen a number of people actually drop in their slips in the entry into the box. We understand that they're hoping that at the end of this they might even have upwards of 1,000 or more prizes available. We also heard that Burger King is going to be
there are going to be people who
giving a burger We don't know exactly when that's going to launch quite yet, but they'll be doing burgers for everyone that gets vaccinated at some point. So coming out today, folks, you can grab an Island Taste patty. They've got cookies and sandwiches and water. I think they might have some sodas and other drinks down here as well. All of the MPs who were not previously vaccinated took the opportunity to get vaccinated today. So we know that Kenneth, Bryan, Chris Saunders, and Kathy, Al Lindsay was also out here getting vaccinated. So come on out and get your jab, folks.
Yes. Good morning. Good
Come out and support the initiative. So it's really, really important that we not pass up on this opportunity for so many different reasons. We're going to go down here and grab a little interview with the premier as well. They've got a popcorn machine, so coming out, folks. Do your civic duties and most importantly, ensure that you are protecting yourself and your community, because that is really what this is all about.
Move your phone just for the Premier Panton. What would you like to say to the people of the Cayman Islands about the importance of coming to get vaccinated?
Well, it's obviously very important for the country as a whole. This is the only real solution for us. The entire world is going through a pandemic. It's not just a public health issue. What it translates to is an economic crisis as well. We have been very fortunate here in Cayman. We've been in a position where we've had reserves. We have the ability to help our people. That is obviously unsustainable. We've had the projections of the types of deficits that we're looking at down the road. And the solution for us is to try to get back to having our borders open, and to some extent at least, the transition from a closed economy back to an open economy. To a large extent, that depends on what's happening around the world as well, what's happening in the countries that are sort of gateway countries. But the key to it for us as well is to have our people cooperate. Now, we did extremely well with the strategy in 2020 of basically burning out the virus in Cayman. And we're all here, we're able to walk around, we're able to hug each other, we're able to treat each other in a normal way, normal courtesies. In fact, the vast majority of the world, you can't do that. So what we need now is for us to continue to do what we did last year, get the vaccine, which is now available. That's why we're here today. The government is here today to really demonstrate to the country that we are supporting this. This is something that must be done. Obviously, we have an immediate issue of making sure that we don't waste the current supply of vaccine, which has an expiry date of June 30th. The key for us is to get that into people's arms. It's not a case that we're not going to get more. We just can't waste it because the rest of the world is crying out for a vaccine supply, crying out for a solution. This is a global, a worldwide obligation, I think, that we have to make sure that this is all fully utilized, and it's key to us and our strategy to getting our borders reopened. We are not out of the pandemic issue for some time to come, unfortunately. Even if we transition into more open borders, it may not be a perfect situation, but the key to it for us and for me is our people not getting sick and not having worse outcomes. There is nothing more difficult for the leadership of a country than to make a decision which at some point might translate into people getting sick or worse. That's going to be a heavy burden, but it's one that we must undertake for the benefit of our economy, for the benefit of our people who at this point are out of a job. I wish we had the reserves to continue the protections, continue with closed borders, to continue to support our people. until we get to a point where there's absolutely no risk. But that's unfortunately a bit of a fantasy. So today we're here promoting the taking of the virus, taking a vaccine against the virus. We certainly congratulate everybody, and I want to congratulate all the members of the government who are leading from the front out here getting their vaccine to show the people of the country that we take it very seriously. I brought my card along to demonstrate the fact that I did have both shots. I think I announced in the press conference it was March 30th. You can see it says March 30th. So I'm all fully vaccinated, and the rest of them will have their second shots obviously in 3 weeks' time. I think we've had a good turnout today, and I want the people of the country to continue to come out and take this seriously, because we all have to be a part of the solution, and it's only for our common good, our public good. So happy to be here, happy to support those, even though I've had it already, happy to support those who are just coming for the first time. I want to importantly mention my foster son came out. He is just shy of 17 years old. He came out and had his first shot today, and I want young people to take it seriously as well. It is not the vaccine is, we don't have 20 years of data on it, but I think we can be, almost certain that there are no issues for people to worry about. One thing is certain is that having a bit of, side effects from the vaccine, which is not abnormal even for a flu vaccine, is better than people getting really, really sick for a long period of time or worse. So that's my encouragement to the people of the country. I think you've heard why I think it's really important that we do that.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Premier, could I ask for some clarity on the 70 to 80% figure that we're talking about? It seems to sort of go between the two, and also there seems to be a bit of confusion over whether that's for the over 18 population, over 16 population, or the entire population. Do you have any information on that?
Okay, so going back to the previous government's announcement, I think they announced 70 to 80% of the entire population. I think in the press conference recently I indicated that 80% of the entire population was going to be difficult at this point in time. If we do get the approval for emergency use for the 12 to 15 age group, that is obviously going to make it easier to achieve something like that. But realistically, we think that 70% is achievable. Obviously, the higher the number, the better it is for Cayman, for the entire population. So we aim to try to overshoot that. Today is about making sure that we get people vaccinated, but also making sure that the vaccine supply that we have now is fully utilized and not wasted in any way. We're going to continue this initiative, and we're going to continue supporting, to the extent necessary, people coming out and getting the vaccine. And it is something that I think is absolutely key to the country, key to our economic sort of reopening of tourism and stabilization of all important legs of our economy. It's a wonderful day here. I've been really heartened to see the numbers of people who have come out. I'm very heartened to see that a lot of people who had initially said to me that they weren't going to take it have now told me that they've changed their minds and they're going to do it. So I'm hoping that translates into greater and greater uptake, and that we'll get all the dosages of the vaccine supply that we have on hand fully utilized, and this will continue throughout the new supplies that we obtain. So if we can get anywhere near 80%, I think that's going to be a good thing of the entire population. That's going to be excellent, but it is obviously a difficult thing. And in most countries they talk about the eligible population as a percentage. Obviously that excludes, up until now it has excluded those up to 16. If we can get that emergency approval I spoke about earlier in terms of the 12 to 15 through the FDA and through Public Health England, then it is going to serve us really well. It will be an even greater degree of protection for our population.
Is there any possibility of mobile vaccination centres?
I think that's entirely possible. If we have employers, for example, that have a significant number of people that are willing to do it, and it's easier just to have a station or two located on their premises. I think the HSR are willing to consider that. I think that's entirely possible.
And just finally, could I get your thoughts on the UK not adding Cayman to its green travel list from yesterday?
Yeah, obviously, it's disappointing, but I understand that they're unfortunately looking at the entire Caribbean as a whole, and there aren't any direct flights from Cayman to the UK. I think if that was the case, perhaps their approach might have been different. It's regrettable that the UK haven't reflected the fact that we're probably the poster child for success amongst the UK in its entirety, including all of its territories. I should probably add in Gibraltar there. I don't want to offend any of our friends there because they've been excellent as well. But I think the overall track record that Cayman has had, I don't think is matched anywhere else. And I think there is an opportunity about 3 to 4 weeks from now to have it reviewed, and we're obviously going to push very heavily to have our track record and our performance reflected in the UK's decisions as to whether we're amber or green. And obviously we're not going to be satisfied unless it's green.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.